Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. Oh, happy Wednesday. It was sunny. It's starting to go behind the clouds, so I was all happy. I love feeling the sun, and it was so warm yesterday. It was amazing. Anyways, welcome. If you're new here, I come on live weekly. It all started with going through the catalog from A to Z, showing you all the different products, how to use them, techniques, different ways of using things, new ways that you might not have thought of. So just a little bit of everything. These days it kind of whatever suits the mood, kind of some new products sometimes it's techniques. Today it's kind of they're not really new products. I realized I've pulled I don't know how many products from the current mini catalog. So I've been doing a lot of, we just had the big release for the March online exclusives. I've done a few of those in the last couple weeks, and this week I went back to the mini. You can't ignore, there's just so many things in different places. It's hard to bounce around and make sure I get to all of it. So hopefully if you have some of it, you'll be able to see how to use it, maybe new ways you didn't think to use it. I also wanted to mention Stampin' Up! Just released a new virtual album retreat. So I don't know if you were a part of it last year. I just, this past weekend, finished my album it was from July or August last year that they did. It was a full year album. It was amazing. It was actually quite good. I just had a few pages left, and it's just been sitting there waiting to be finished. So I told myself, no, I need to finish it before I even think about doing another one. So I got it done. I am contemplating this one. This one isn't a year album, so it's not like the 12 page. I think it's a 10 page layout, 10 double page layout. Right? Yes, 10 double pages. If you have any more questions, you can always ask me about it. The registration opens today, I believe, for this kit. But yes, so if you have any questions, it's $340 Canadian, which is a lot, but it comes with like 4 stamp sets, all your pages, all the pre-cut, like laser cut pieces. It's super easy, well organized. The projects are all marked on each of the things. It's really well done if it's like the one last year, which I'm sure, if anything, it's improved because that was their first one last year. Yeah, you get to learn lots of techniques and different ways. Like I had never thought of, I don't scrapbook a whole lot, but these were like next level things that you can include in your scrapbooking. So it's fun. And I know for last year, I kind of justified the price in my head by taking I can't remember how much it was. It was 3 something. And then I divided it by 12 because there was 12 layouts. And, it was like $25 per, which is typically what you would pay for a class anyways. So if you divide it per month, it's not as bad as it sounds. And this one seems like it's coming with a lot more of this. Like I think we had 2 stamp sets last year. This one comes with, it looked like 4. I have to go through and look at it again. But anyways, any questions, you can let me know. Hi, Linda. Also, the product of the month this is going to be backwards for you. Notes of Spring. I don't have it yet. But again, when you spend $100 or more, you can get the product of the month. I think so. This is March. I think this is the last month where it'll be $5 for the product of the month, and then it goes to $7 or $7.50. I can't. They made a boo-boo when they did the printing in the mini catalog, so they honored that and they kept it at $5, but it's going to be going up a little bit, I believe in April. I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure, or maybe it's May. I could be wrong. either way, it's only $5 when you spend 100 and you get a whole stamp set. So if you like the stamp set, then it's a great deal. All right. I can't think of, there's the new online exclusives. I know the new annual catalog came out digitally online for demonstrators yesterday or the day before. So that's exciting. I didn't make it to on stage, so I was super excited to see it. Lots of fun stuff. I believe pre-order started today. I haven't got on and done that yet because I was prepping my cards for today. I was a little behind. So yeah, let's get turned around. I didn't even tell you what we're doing, but I guess you'll find out as we go. All right, let's do the awkward transition here. Ooh. Okay. Oh, why do we have... No, it's not that. Oh, it's this little button that shows. That's interesting that it shows. All right. Hopefully that's okay. I'll try and, oops, not make you too seasick. All right, so today I decided to do some masking, but I thought, why not do masking in different ways so that if you don't have certain products like masking paper, or maybe you don't have a heat tool and embossing powder, I wanted to show you different ways that you can mask and make cards. So for the first one, I didn't quite finish this one, so I'm going to finish it with you. And I was contemplating changing the color scheme, and I haven't decided. Anyways, let's start and we'll see how it goes. So for this one, I pulled out the shell collecting stamp set, which is in the mini catalog. It's a standalone stamp set. It's reversible. Now, when I was stamping, I did realize, so there's two of these ones and they're slightly different. But if you see how they're shaped, you need to use the opposite reverse to match the positive of each one. Same with this one. So any of them, when they're not symmetrical, right, and you flip it, it'll be on the wrong side. So these two swap, these two swap, and you'll see me do it with this one, so you understand what I'm talking about. And then there's the whole beachy suite in the mini catalog as well. So I thought I would take the words from it. Now I did want to take the words from the scrapbooking stamp set, and for some reason, I know I have it, but for some reason it's missing. It must be with a pile of projects somewhere. And I didn't have time to find it. So this would be another fun one to use with the shells, but I only could find this one. I have everything in its place, organized. I don't know how I'm, it's so frustrating. Anyways, if I have a class or a project on the go, I keep the stuff. I guess I'm learning I shouldn't keep the stuff because I was looking for something else this morning and I couldn't find it. And anyways, so we're gonna play with those shells. Now I decided, so my whole thing was I wanted to do some blending background, but I wanted to do masked areas where you'd be able to have your stamped images. So I probably should show you my masked image as the first card, but that one to me became my wow card. So we're going to start with this, and I will tell you there's different ways of doing this, but this is how we're going to start. So I took 3 of the stamps. I'm going to make sure they're facing in the detailed direction. And I don't know if it's going to stick because I was using them the other way. Oh, I know why they're not because they have Versamark on them. I should have cleaned them. Oh well. I will clean them afterwards and then they'll get all sticky again. As long as they're not falling off, it's okay. So I'm going to start with this cute seashell. Now, my original one, I used crumb cake and pecan pie, and I found it ended up a little too dark. So I'm still going to use the pecan pie, I think, to stamp the image here. And then we'll use the crumb cake, but I think I'm going to, oh, I need to grab a wipe here. This stamp set is kind of the perfect, like a two-step stamp set is the perfect set for this technique. But there, you'll see as we go, there's other ways to make it work as well. It doesn't have to be a two-stamp set. All right, so now I've flipped it over, and so it's on the solid side of things. And I'm going to, I took my crumb cake, but rather than stamping it straight on, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to stamp it on. And let's do that again. Just so there's more. Actually, maybe I do like it with the dark. Two different looks. You'll see. I'll show you the original where I went full strength, and then you can decide. Maybe it would have been better to go half strength pecan pie, maybe? Or maybe I should have kept it all crumb cake. Oh no, let me just test it out. Oh, no, because then I'll have to. That's fine. We will leave it. This is the overthinking part of my brain. All right, so we'll just leave that for now. We'll come back to that in a second. We're gonna go to our next color. So in my original, I kind of went pretty bold. It's really bold for me. I'm gonna keep it as is. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring in Pretty Peacock instead. I will do the Pretty Peacock with the star. And then I'm gonna hold off on that. I need to fit my other shell in there, and then I'll finish it. So for the other shell, I will use Lost Lagoon. I'll go one here. And one here. Maybe one here. Okay, so we got 3 of those. It's not much off of the peacock, but we will use, see, now there's a big hole there. I should have put the star there. Do we put another? That's just 2 side by side though. I'm gonna leave it empty, and then we'll put our sentiment There. Okay, so this was pretty peacock. So we'll clean this up. And we've got this on the reverse side. And I'm going to take the Lost Lagoon where I've got the pretty peacock, so it's lighter, and we'll stamp that. And it does lighten up with time, I do find. So it looks a little bit dark now, but it'll lighten up. Okay, then we're going to take this shell that we did with the Lost Lagoon, and we're going to use Pool Party as the lighter color. It looks like I didn't even have any. I feel like I need to re-ink a lot of my stamp pads. They aren't so juicy. Okay, so we've got all of our seashells. And you're probably like, okay, now what? So like I said, I wanted to do backgrounds, but I wanted to be able to have my stamped images. So I've done this in the past. This is not rocket science. However, oh, it's on the other side. I'm like, why isn't it cleaning off? Well, I'll tell you in a second. We can't jump ahead. I can't tell you how to do things before we've even done other things. I'm going to take my heat tool here, and I'm just going to no, it doesn't matter if it's dry, because we're just putting more embossing powder on here. So if my ink isn't dry, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to grab my clear embossing powder, and all my stamps are on the reverse side, so the flat side. And I'm just going to come in with my Versamark, and I'm going to do one set of stamps at a time. I think it's just easier than trying to Versamark them all and powder them all at the same time. So I'm going to start with this shell here. I'm going to put Versamark on all the shells. Be careful not to touch any of the areas that you Versamarked. And then we'll just put some powder as I realize I'm off the camera here. Okay, so those ones are all powdered up. We'll get our heat tool heated here. So this technique is the resist technique as you're masking, because it'll resist the other ink that you're going to put on. Now there's many ways to do this. I'm going to show you two. One works better than the other, but if you don't have a heat tool and embossing powder, the other way does work. So you want to heat it till it's nice and shiny, no longer dull. Looking good. Maybe a little bit more over here. Okay. So one set of shells, oops, is done. Then we will get to the next one, but before I do, I'm gonna powder it up again just because I've touched it with my hands, and I always have cream on my hands because my hands are always dry. Yeah, the oils from your hands will make the powder stick to the paper, which you don't want. So if you were like me and have creamy hands, moisturized hands, make sure you get that anti-static powder, or be very careful about touching your paper. One or the other. Okay, so then we'll do those ones. All right, and then last one, make sure it's on the right side. Okay. Last ones. I know this part is, I should have done half of it beforehand, so you don't have to sit through it all. There we go. So I don't know if you can see that. It's shiny now over top of the stamped images. And then we've got our paper underneath. So now we can come in and add some color to this. Originally I used cloud cover, but I'm wondering if I should, well, maybe we'll try it. We'll try it out and see. Oh, before I do though, I can feel it's all gritty. So let's just wipe this powder out of here. Okay, now back. I contemplated going super dark with this, but I think I would have to use much lighter colors on my shells to make it work. Like I thought about using Secret Sea and making the seashells really pop. You could use multicolors. You could go, actually, well, like you could go like a sandy to blue. You could go light blue to dark blue. I just feel like though with the random placement of the shells, it kind of feels like it's more of a wash of color than a multi-color. But you could add more dark around the edges and kind of highlight the center more. And then if you want to add some texture to your background, you can, because nothing is going to color this because it's all protected. So you can wipe it with a wiper tissue to get any of the color off that you've put on. But that's always going to stay the original color, which is nice. So another trick for some for the background is just to add some water droplets. So you can do the old tapping, or what I like to do is I like to just control drops, and it's not instant, but you can see where I sprayed. And if you want a bit bigger drop, you can actually, if you're very careful, you can make it. If I had a glass of water, it's easier because you could just dip it, and then so there's a little drop at the end there that you can. There's a bit bigger ones. And then it's like you kind of have some bubbles going on. I don't know if you can kind of see that. You could add some white also, or you could even spritz it with some water if you wanted. It would be finer, but that's why I like using the brush to get some bigger droplets. You could also take some, I probably just stuck it in my puddle of water. I forgot to wipe it. Whoopsie. But you could do some more of the cloud cover. You could put some drops in there. So you have darker drops and lighter drops. You could add some black drops. I ended up taking, oh, here it is. There's also the Gears and Textures. This is another stamp set. It's a bundle that's in the mini catalog, and it has some great texture stamps, and I thought this one would be this one or this one, but I like the finer for this one. So you could come in, you could use a color, or you can use the cloud cover again and just add a bit of texture. Oops. So you can stamp it on top of the stamped images. Because like we said before, it's not gonna then you can just wipe it off, right? So I don't know if you can see, but it's on there. So we'll just give it a wipe, and then it's gone. And then you've got some more texture built up on there. You could keep going if you wanted to. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then, so this is where I already pre-did but I'll show you what I meant by the two the two different, they're different in that they have a slightly different pattern on them. But if you, I think this is the one I originally did. Let's do, I'm going to go pretty peacock this time. Maybe it'll just help see everything better. So we've got this one. Now, if I wipe this one and then I flip it around, you'll see that it does not match. So that's what I meant by you have to take the other one. So this is the detailed side, which does not match, but it would match the reverse of that one. And so on the reverse, then it matches this side. And since it's just a blank background, it's fine. So then I'm going to take my pool party, I think, or should I take Lost Lagoon? I'll try pool party first, see if it's too. I think that's good. Okay, so then my plan was to fussy cut it since we do not have, oh, my plan was to fussy cut it after I put some embossing powder on. Where did I put the powder? Here we go. Okay, so this is the right one, yes. One more. Then we'll put the. So now if these were not shells and you didn't want them to be shiny, you could, so once you're done all of this, what you can do is you can take an iron. Now this has been a while. I was trying to remember. I think you put a piece, I can't remember if you have to put two pieces in between or a cloth on top or a piece of wax paper. I cannot remember. I do have a video which I will look for and I'll try and link it in the description, because you can remove the embossing powder. You heat it up with the iron and it sticks to the other side, and then you'll have a smooth, so it'll be all one layer without no shine. But I think for the seashells it looks good with the shine. But if you had a different whatever I don't know what you're stamping, and you didn't want it to have that shine, and actually I have an example next of some trees where we're not going to use this technique, but it is an option to use this technique, and if you do, I would think that you would, well, it depends. You could keep the shine, but then it looks less real tree-like. So if you want it to be more realistic, you could then remove the embossing powder once you had all your stamping and background finished. Okay, so we have our seashell. Maybe I should have made that brown. I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't finished my other cards, so I hadn't quite gotten to the point of deciding what I was doing. And then I'm just going to take this and the Celebrate stamp from the beach set. I think I just moved, yeah. I was hovering it too low to see, and I smooshed it. Okay, so normally I would cut this in a, I'm going to get my, I am not good at cutting straight lines, especially with little scissors. I need to get a pair of, I wish Stampin' Up! Would have more tools, and they do have some new tools coming out, but not, they don't even have any scissors anymore now that these ones aren't available, and it doesn't look like they came out with an alternative in it. But now that we're getting the 3 catalogs per year, maybe one of the next catalogs will have it, which is nice. I like that the new catalogs are always going to have, you know, sorry, I'm cheating. This isn't a retired. I always use it to make my flag edge. I'm not, even if I go up halfway and I'm happy. Oh, I did that backwards. I should have put it on this side. Okay, I might have to redo that. But anyways, let me okay, so here's the colorful one that I did. You let me know what you think is the, yeah, I don't know if I like this blue. I think maybe a crumb cake, like a lighter crumb cake shell. What do you think? So this I used Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink. And this is the Pecan Pie with Full Strength Crumb Cake. And this is Pool Party with Lost Lagoon. And then the cloud cover. So 2 different looks for sure. Where's my white base here? Sometimes when your page is a little bit warped from, what's going on here? It doesn't want to, there's no sticky anywhere. What's going on? Oh no, something happened. Do you guys ever have this happen where, see, it looks like for some reason this is folded over. I don't know why this is like this. Is it supposed to be like that? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to fix this afterwards. It's a brand new one too. I hate it when that happens. Like I was saying, I prefer to use the Stampin' Seal when it's warped because I find it kind of flattens things better. Sorry, I'm just looking for, I know I have more than one Stampin' Seal, but I don't know where it is. I will use the Super Seal. Oh, and that's the other thing. Newsflash. Stock up on everything. See, this is why I don't like the plus. And I go ripping my paper. Envelopes are going up in price. Stampin' Seal. Everything is kind of like $1 to $1.50 going up. And I don't know if it's because of the tariffs or what, if just things keep going up in price. But man, I found like there was a big jump last year, so I was a bit worried this year. Yeah, I don't know what, I think my case was dirty and I didn't clean it and then it got caught. I'm gonna have to see what's going on. Anyways, those are the two colors for there. Let me know which one. I actually kind of like this one. I mean, this one's subdued, but this one isn't as bad as I originally thought. But I am more kind of I'm not a very bright gal. But anyways, you get the idea. So again, I'll try and remember to link the video that shows how to remove the embossing powder if you don't want your project to be shiny. And as usual, I've got powder. I don't know. I had a cloth out. I couldn't find the cloth. I don't know what is going on. I cleaned up and now I can't find anything. Okay. I must have grabbed a bunch of stuff with other stuff. I don't know. All right. The next one, this is a fun one. I didn't originally purchase this. And then I saw my upline using it and realized that these trees are all separate. So you can build a forest however you want it to look. So they're just single pieces of branches. So you can design your, you could have it portrait, you could have it landscape, you can have it however you want. And in whatever order you want. And so originally I hadn't purchased it because I was like, oh, I have a background tree die that looks similar, and so I didn't do it. But when I realized they were separate, and it's Aspen Grove, and Aspen's my puppy's name, so how can you? Oh, I just showed you the card. Okay. We have our Stampin' Positioning tool, which is in the new catalog, by the way. So if you missed out on it for the pre-order for demonstrators or for the starter kit and you want it, it will be, if you're a demonstrator, it's available now, I guess. I haven't looked at the pre-order. I don't know if it's a limited pre-order or if it's everything. Sometimes you can just order certain things, and sometimes it's everything. So I'm not sure. I haven't looked. Like I said, we ended up going to the Oilers game last night, which was nice. Although I'm still recovering. My youngest, his flight was delayed coming home from his competition. They didn't get back. We didn't get home till 2:30 in the morning on Sunday night. So I didn't sleep before picking him up because I kept thinking I was going to not wake up. And then so I'd fallen asleep a couple times, but like sleep, wake, sleep, awake. And then when we finally got home, I couldn't fall back to sleep because I'd had little cat naps, and yeah, anyways, I'm still recovering. All that to say, my short story long. So here's my little tree stamp. So the nice thing with this is if I had missed a spot with the black, I can always do it again. Now that's the other note to make. Stampin' Up! Has a new black ink coming out in the new stamp pad style, and it is supposed to, it's a hybrid, so it's supposed to be good for blends and watercoloring, so it'll be one pad for everything. You won't have to remember, do I use StazOn for this? Do I use Memento for this? They have their own perfect little black ink pad. So it'll be great. All right. Okay. So for our next masking, you could use masking paper, which I'm going to use in my next card. You can use embossing powder. So this is the one I was saying, if you wanted to emboss the trees with clear or white or whatever, probably better to be clear just in case some gets left behind, and then you can see. You could emboss it and then do all your background, and then remove the embossing so you don't have shiny trees. Or if maybe you're a beginner, maybe you don't have a lot of supplies, if you have just the Versamark, you don't need the embossing powder or the heat tool. And you can use like if you have a painter's little holder, or I'm just using my silicone mat and I'm putting some Versamark refill on here. And you can use a paintbrush, which I was using this old one, but it gets really sticky. And so if you don't clean it, it might get kind of glued together. So if you could make sure you use an old one. Or I found, so we used to have these Versa markers where you could actually color in areas you wanted to add Versamark to, but it is so dried up. It's no longer good, but it was still in my stuff, and I thought, well, why not use this to paint it on, seeing as it's a Versa marker anyways. So this is what I'm using. You could use maybe an old marker that is dried out, but the tip is still good. This tip isn't great, but I think it'll do the job. We'll see. So I'm just painting or coloring, adding Versamark to my trees. Now this technique works amazing with our pastels, and I went to go on to look. I think we still have the pastels in the catalog. I don't know if we will. I don't know if they're still in for next year, but I'm pretty sure they're still in there. This resist works really well with the pastels, which maybe I should pull them out, and then I'll show you what it looks like with the ink. But then I can't do, see, maybe I will pull them out. It's been a while. Actually, no, I'll do the ink what I planned, and then I do have videos that shows, if you look up pastels, I have a whole video on how to use pastels, and or it might be in the resist techniques. I have done some videos before with reverse techniques. Not reverse, resist. Okay, I'm making sure I haven't figured out, I had globs on my last one and it didn't work that well, so I'm just trying to make it so that it's sticky everywhere, so it looks like it's sticky everywhere. We'll move that out of the way. We'll close, oops, wrong end. Close that, and then we're going to take our brayer and we're going to use Pool Party, or should I use, yeah, I used Pool Party originally. Now, when you're using the brayer, you want to go one direction. You could go, well, if you go this direction, you're going to be moving the Versamark out of the tree line, whereas if you go up and down, you're going to, I mean, when you go back and forth, it'll move it around, but at least it'll be in a vertical. So you don't want to do it you want to ink up really well and just kind of give it a light dusting of blue. So it resists the blue a little bit. So your trees still have a hue of white. Now, the only thing is it only resists the ink. It's not going to keep, you know, if you keep going and you want to add all sorts of stuff to your background and you want to really texturize it, then you're going to want to use the, sorry, I don't know if you guys are hearing that noise. The city decided to come and do something on the walkway, which is right next to our house, right when we're live. Yeah, so if you're going to want to keep doing more, oh my goodness, can you guys hear that? It's horrible. Then definitely, so once you paint it on the Versamark, just add the clear powder, heat it up, melt it, so it's all shiny, and then it'll keep the trees white, and then you can remove the embossing powder if you don't want them to be shiny. But now, so now when I add stuff to my background, I have to be careful because the Versamark is still kind of there, but I think I'm just gonna be a little more careful. I don't know what they're doing. I know there's ice all over the walkway, so I don't know if they're trying to like chop it. I have no idea. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. And then I'm gonna use, so I'll keep this color. Then there's this like lines one. Oh, you thought it was at your house? Yeah, it's like, no, it's here. It's that loud. Crazy. I guess there's no noise limit at this time of day. I have to put a sign. Shh. No noise. Live streaming. Oh my goodness. He's like right outside my window. Okay, well, hopefully it doesn't last too long. Oh, and I forgot. So the trees has, I almost forgot, I was so worried about my texture. It has the leaves. So I took the biggest one, and it's kind of, I felt like it was washed out a little bit. It's more of a kind of a blob. It has less detail. And so with that one, I just used the Pool Party. So it's Pool Party on Pool Party. And I'm just gonna go across like that. And then we can go down a little bit there, maybe some there. And then I took the smallest one, which probably has the most detail, and you want to come in with a little bit darker. I used cloud cover, but I don't love the look, so maybe I'll use Lost Lagoon instead. I don't know. I feel like Lost Lagoon is going to be too dark. The cloud cover is, maybe I'll stick with the cloud cover. It's subtle, it's a little bit off. See, it's gonna look dark here, but as it dries, it kind of backs off a little bit. There. So you've got your trees, and these ones are slightly whiter. Now, if you want them whiter, you could come back in with a pencil crayon. Oh, here's another sneak preview. No, it's not a sneak peek because I don't have it to show you, but sneak tell and told. One of the new products is white gel pens. So you'll be able to have fun with those. All right. So we've got our trees, and then all I did was I stamped wishing you well, and this wishing you well is from the Greenery Lane. So I told you, I pulled out so many different sets for this because a lot of these ones that I, like the seashells, didn't have any sentiments. The aspen didn't have, the gears and textures didn't have, like, so I pulled sentiments from other places. And then, so this is my finished version. So you can see how the cloud cover leaves has really dried back. Oh, and then I did add a bit of Wink of Stella, but then you're adding shine. So if you want shine to your trees, I would recommend just doing the embossing powder, and then you can have really, but they might be too white. Like, it's kind of nice that they're not fully white, but they do have the white coming through. And then you can add some, you want a bit of sparkliness, you can add a bit of Wink of Stella there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the shine? Anyways, it's simple, it's cute. I thought it was fun. All right, my next one is more colorful, don't worry. These ones were in the very blue shades. Now we're gonna get springy and bright for Easter, because I did finally cave and I got the Easter set. Well, I did a card the other day with, because the Easter basket is so cute. So here I've got the masking paper that I pre-die cut. Oh, and I got something on my paper. And then this is the, sorry, let me just move this silicone sheet because it's full of Versamark. Oh, maybe he was cutting the trees. I hope he wasn't cutting my maple tree, even though we planted it on the city side. Oh, sorry. Oh, my water went down the wrong way. Oh my goodness. I apologize. Oh, okay. So for this one, I've got some fun, pretty in pink, lemon lolly, and peach pie. And I'm trying to remember which way I want to do this. He's getting some maple syrup. Oh, it's still very much a baby tree. I don't think our trees here in Alberta, when they're the maple trees, they don't produce, most of them, as far as I've been told, don't actually produce maple syrup because of the weather. Who knows, maybe with things changing, it might start. I want to put my rabbit in behind the basket before I stick it down, and you'll see why in a bit. And you know what? Before I even do that, oh my goodness, I should have stamped my little rabbit so that I know, because I want to know. I'll show you in a sec. Where's the rabbit? Oh my goodness. I totally breathed in the water. Okay. So we're stamping our little rabbit here. Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of branches. They come and they cut up the rose bushes once every 2 years, and then they just overgrow and are horrible the rest of the time. So we pulled ours out and snuck in some maple trees. So I want the hands to be hanging over the basket when I stamp it. So I'm just going to tuck them in there, and I'm going to stick him down here for now. Excuse me. Okay, then we will peel, and I don't know if you noticed, I didn't say anything when I did it. I stuck it to my sweater before sticking it down, and that's just to pick up some lint, just to make it just a wee bit less sticky, because otherwise sometimes it tears the paper when you remove it. So rather than tearing the paper, I just oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I'm never drinking while live again. Oh, it almost hurts. It's in my lungs. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, I'm going to start with, I'm going to blend the 3 colors together, and my masking paper is theoretically going to stay put for me. It usually does. It's pretty good. The masking paper is in the annual catalog. Okay. Holy moly. And the yellow. And then we'll have peach pie. I'm just gonna, I can't believe we're losing Pretty in Pink and Peach Pie. These are I love these colors. Like I said, I'm not a bright, dark color kind of gal. Not, well, that's not true because I do like Secret Sea. Okay, I'm not a bright. Oh, no. See, I unstuck them too much. You do have to be careful. I was being a little, a little reckless in my brushing. Just want to try and blend it all together a little bit more. And the nice thing with these lines is if you really get in there, it gets into the lines and shows through when you peel it, which is fun. Now the only sad part with this set is there's no there's no Easter basket stamp. So I'm going to show you how we're going to get around that. There's a couple ways. I'm going to show you the easiest way. Excuse me. All right. This is, well, no, I can't peel it yet. What am I doing? What am I doing? So this is where you're going to want to do whatever you want to do to the background before you unmask things. So, oh my goodness. Part of it is I would like some black splatter, which you can see I black splattered already by accident. You can use a marker. You can use a water painter. I don't know how well this is going to work with this kind of. So what I did before was I just took, oh my goodness, a little bit of water and the black, and so this is why you want to keep your mask on, obviously. or you'll have, but when you do it with the water, it doesn't spritz as black as maybe you would want. So just be forewarned about that. And I'm gonna wipe the black off of there. Okay, so if you want a bit more black, I'm kind of wrecking my nib here. I should use the blends. Anyways, I think, so I didn't add a lot of texture to the background, and I think I kind of regret it. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some, I think I'm going to add, so I'm going to use this splatter. Now what I did with this splatter, keep it subdued. We'll just do color on color. Nothing crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay, then I think I want to take the black and, oh, this is scary. It's always scary adding the unknown. There we go. What else could we add here? What other, where did I put the gears, textures? We could do some lines, I guess. With it. What do you think? To get too much. Let's just leave it for now. Just trying to think if there was anything else. I think we're good. Okay, so then we're going to remove the basket. To the ta-da. These, I don't know if you can see, you can have the little basket lines showing through. Now they're not going to show where the bunny is. But then, oh, I did it wrong again. I meant to put the bunny on top so that when I stamped, no, what did I do? Oh, I do remember what I did. Kind of. Yes. All right. We're going to peel this guy, which he'll have a bit of orange on his ear, but that's okay. Here we go. Then, before we stamp him, we don't want to stamp his bottom half. So, we're going to cut at the line, but we're going to leave room for his little hands. It's a little bit harder when it's already sticky. And then we're going to put this like so. And if you're worried about it going even too far with that there, where I put them now, everything is disappearing. You can take a Post-it note and just kind of cover in case you're off if you're worried. It is scary stamping on your already finished background. No, I'm not adding, I just have the, I mean, I could have added some eggs and stuff to the basket, I guess. I kept it very simple. So it's just a bunny in the basket. Now, if you did want to do eggs, you could mask some eggs. I think I would have masked them and done the same thing and added the eggs, and I think that's why I didn't, because I thought that was a little too much, especially on a live. So here I missed the paw just a little bit, so I'm going to come in with a marker. But then it looks like he's just on top of the basket there. Then this is where the fun comes in, or I don't know if it's fun or scary. A little bit of both. You can take the die and some tape, and you might need a window to know if you're in the right spot. I like to look through the window this way to see if I'm covering all the white, and I am. So I'm just gonna tape that down. Oh, it looks like I'm over a little bit. I think it moved. It moved. Shoot. Okay. Tape. Tape. Okay. And then, in order that his little hands don't get covered, now we're going to put the top part of the bunny on. And then we're going to take our memento and we're going to carefully ink the die. And we're taped down so that we can do it more than once, because it probably won't be perfect the first time. And it's going to be quite light, but that's okay. Now, like I said before, there is another way to do this. You could use the positioning tool. I did try that, and I taped the die down. But you can also run it through the emboss, or the Big Boss of the die cutting machine, and do it as an emboss that I've shown before, where you use the mat. And another sneak alert, there is a new impressions mat coming out, and impressions dies that not only cut, but they make an impression. So you could make an impression with this if I wanted to run it through, and then it would have some texture to it. But because I've gone for the all one layer look, I'm not going to do that. So peel that off. It has a nice thin print of the basket. Unfortunately, it covered my little cute yellow lines, but that's okay. And then we're gonna peel Mr. Rabbit so you can see, or Mrs., or that way the paws didn't get covered with the basket, although we do, it did miss the line there. So we kind of want just a bit of a line there. And then we've got our basket. And then we can add the Happy Easter. Now, if you are worried about stamping this and getting it good the first time, I would definitely use the Stampin' Positioning tool. I'm going to live on the edge and hope that it works, and it does. And that is my, oh, I forgot a part. I shouldn't have stamped my Happy Easter. I'll have to go back and do it. So this is the finished one. I stamped the little hatch from the Gears and Textures set so that it would look a little bit like a basket. So you might want to do that before you take off his paws, or you can just work around it. And I just kind of edged it as I went around. And I did that with the peach pie to make it a little bit more basket. I cut it out with the postage dies, and I forgot to color the ears. You want to add some pretty and pink ears and nose, and then you have a super cute Easter bunny. Isn't that so cute? So the 3 cards are this one, and what was the, oh, the trees. Where did my aspen trees go? Here we go. And we have the aspen trees. There. Those are my cards for this week, and some different ways to do some masking. And that way, I mean, this one does have an, you could keep it down to that, and then you don't have anything. It's just a one layer, not really one layer, but one, you know, all one inked. There's no die cuts to pop up or anything. So depends on the look you're going for, but there's some fun techniques to get some fun backgrounds without losing your stamped images. You like the extra? Yeah, I think it needs the extra shell, otherwise it's, or else we would need like a bigger sentiment or something. But yeah, hopefully you will go try this with your own products and send me pictures of what you make, or tag me if you post it. But yeah, Linda, I'd love to see if you try some of the resist techniques. I think you have the Easter set, don't you? I'm sure you're going to make cute little Easter things for those kiddos close to you. All right, well, hopefully you have a great rest of your week, and I will be back next Wednesday. All right, have a great week. Bye. Thanks for watching.